Bam! And we are live, and we are going to dive into the 33rd edition of JA Movie News. This time, we are just going to be answering your user questions. All right, so I'm just gonna dive in here and start with the first question. Where's the fucking screen at? Oh yeah, by the way, shout out to this man here, Sam JVS, because he just hit 10,000 subs. So
I appreciate it, man. Good looks, bro.
But anyway, let's dive in here. So Mr. Chang asks, do you think do you think Civil War will be better than BVS? Civil War better than BVS? Yes. Your thoughts?
I think that it has the potential of being a way more well-liked film all around in general. I mean, even if you want to go on the perspective of people appealing more to Marvel as a cater to DC, in general, people are going to have this more well-received. This is a family-based film that anybody can watch. It's going to have that general broad humor. It's going to have that action-packed moment, but it's also going to have the aesthetic of having the Avengers on top of, you know, the Winter Soldier going to be in this one. There's going to be a lot of stuff that you don't know. Spider-Man, for the first time, is going to ever have his appearance. More people say that Spider-Man probably is the top superhero right next to Batman and Superman. So, I mean, having Spider-Man alone in that, people are going to be, like, flocking to it. Do I think it's going to be a better film? I think that it has the more capacity to definitely be a better film. If I had to give an early prediction right now, which I normally do predictions on my page, I'd probably give it an A-. Really early, only because how they're going to fit Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and at the same exact time keep this interwave of, you know, Tony Stark and Steve Rogers, how that dynamic's going to go. And depending on how it ends, if it ends epically, this could be an A in the rankings, definitely. Y'all know that I gave Batman vs. Superman a B to a B- at an 8.5 out of 10. I enjoyed it more than most. But I think that this has a lot more capacity to be more well-received all around. And it has a lot more to work off of because it's actually got a background. It's got, look, 2 phases worth, almost 10 to 15 years worth of history. It can literally solidify itself as being the dominant superhero film in general, which, of course, the DC Universe doesn't, unfortunately, right now.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me, it's real cut and dry. Like, yes. I mean, I've said this from the beginning that I think that Civil War is going to be better than BVS. Just like from the perspective of, it just came off like a clusterfuck. You know, like too much cooking in the pot. You know, prior to seeing BVS, whereas Civil War everything just seems pretty near perfect. I mean, from a marketing point of view, the information they've given us, you know, I think it's going to be a better film, personally. I mean, I definitely have some substantial issues with the cinematic, you know, phase 1 and a little bit of phase 2 for sure. But, I mean, they've been doing work. I mean, Winter Soldier, I thought was like a 9 out of 10. So, yeah, I can't wait to see what they do with Civil War. So,
oh yeah,
yeah.
And interesting fact. So I might be going to see the screening of that next week. So it's potential we're going to have an interesting discussion about my thoughts on that. I was thinking about telling you, Jor-Els, to interview me what I thought about it. So maybe that might be in the works later.
Okay. All right. Cool. On to the next question. Great question. All right, so RP, how excited are you for XMen Apocalypse, and what are your expectations? How excited? I'm lukewarm about it, honestly. I'm not like, oh my God, like it's. I want to see it. I'm intrigued, but I'm not losing my mind about it. My expectations are pretty low, but mostly that stems from the fact that, like, I really, really love X-Men. But for some reason, the movies cinematically, they just, I don't know. They've been okay. I guess they're just not the definitive, you know, this is the greatest we'll ever see, you know, Godfather version of the X-Men cinematically speaking. I think they're okay. You know, like Days of Future Past, I think it's easily the best one. But even with that one, I mean, I think that's, it's probably like an 8 out of 10 for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty lukewarm about it. My expectations are pretty low, but I'm not anticipating a terrible movie. So, but what about you?
It's interesting, man. Like I went into Apocalypse movie when I first looked at Avenues pop up, and I was like sitting there taking a picture of him versus a cosplay version of what Apocalypse was to look like. And I was like immediately turned off of it. Like my expectations went completely low. But the more I've been looking at trailers and the more I've actually seen like the uses of the characters, I've actually grown accustomed to like be more inclined to watch it. So I'm more excited with it the more content they've been giving me. It's weird. Like normally the more content you give, like it's like it shies away too much of the movie. But with the X-Men universe, because there's so many characters and it's not so much about the interweaving story, but how the dynamics of each character plays off of each other. It doesn't worry me as much when I get a lot more content for it. So like I'm actually more excited for it than I was initially when I first heard it announced. And not just that, Oscar Isaac, he literally won me over last year. I mean, between Ex Machina, Star Wars, I mean, the dude, he literally won me over. So I'm curious to see how he's going to do on the villain side, even though he did let me down with that Robin Hood movie. So I was lukewarm, or no, I was like thinking it was gonna be terrible. Now I'm like just above lukewarm on this one, so I'm kind of excited for it.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. One negative I got to throw out real quick though. I really don't like that one shot of like where he's holding Mystique by the throat. Like it, it comes off as like Jennifer Lawrence. She should literally someone was like, "Okay, action," and Jennifer Lawrence was like it just doesn't feel genuine. It does not feel genuine. Every single time I see the shot, I can't explain it. Like I love the concept behind it. Like it just every time it irks me every single time. Like it fuck. Anyway. but thank you for the for that question, and on to the next one, which is from William Clark. Do you think that Justice League and Death of Superman storyline was put in because of executive meddling? I honestly don't know. I think you're like just referring to like the studio. I'm assuming like did they come in and fuck shit up, kind of like with the 2015 or was that 2015? Yeah, 2015 Fantastic Four situation, but. Well, first off, guess we should say Batman versus Superman spoilers, just in case there. But do I? Maybe I don't know. What do you think?
I do. This is the first time I'll say a definite yes, only because I have been tracking Batman versus Superman for quite a long time. Since this. Even like talks about it at Comic-Con, like the last point before 2014, between 2013 and the movie finished wrapping 2015. I know that Hans Zimmer and Junkie had started like scoring it in the middle of 2015. So it was right on the date, ready to be put out in 2015. Then they stopped it. They were like, okay, we're going to push this back another 8 months until 2016, where it was supposed to be in May. And then they pushed it forward into March. And I think, to be quite honest with you, looking at the film and what they did with Wonder Woman, the cameos, that in a lot of terms, a lot of people have even said it was kind of really poorly done. It could have been executed a lot better. It seemed like it was quickly pushed in. And not just that, it's going to be interesting to see where this Ultimate Edition Director's Cut is going to play out. I think that a lot of things got pushed into it to try to platform everything from the Justice League universe. Because the thing is, the movie, a lot of people say it fails as far as a movie, but it delivers as far as pushing everything. People excited to see Batman of this universe. People excited to see Aquaman. People excited to see Wonder Woman now. So it excelled in that note. But I think in regards to how the studio is involved, I think they really did. And I don't think Zack Snyder can say it. I don't think other people can. But that's just me personally. I really feel like they did have a big involvement of how they want to do it, because the marketing sucked. I mean, after the first trailer was okay, but after that Doomsday trailer, that is what was the nail in the coffin already in a lot of regards to the plausibility of how this is going to play out. Even if it would have happened and we looked at it, it could have been, people will say it's been garbage, but from the standpoint that people already knew, it's like you're pinpointing where each sequence was going to be before it was. So I think that was definitely WB. And I think that they shoehorned a lot more things in there that shouldn't have been there, personally. But I mean, Zack Snyder, he can only do but so much, but he can also, say yay or nay about stuff too. So
I haven't exactly done a lot of research into like any studio meddling, as you put it, but I personally feel like it's probably a combination of Zack Snyder and the studio. I mean, Zack Snyder was one of those people who were like, Man of Steel 2, Man of Steel sequel. Damn, what if Batman was in there? Oh, what if it was Batman versus Superman? You know what I mean? So I don't think it would be too big of a leap to see him, wanting to throw in like the Death of Superman storyline, things like that. But whatever. But thanks for your question, though.
Yeah.
Next question. DRTR. Do you think Felicity Jones will do a great job in Rogue One? Okay, let me just stop there then. Do I think she will? To be honest, Felicity Jones is not someone that I am very familiar with, so I hope she'll do a great job. Also, why do you think a lot of people complain about females such as Daisy Ridley and Felicity being the lead role in Star Wars movies? Okay. Are people complaining about that? If they are, that's news to me. I feel like people would be extremely ecstatic about females being in the lead role for Star Wars. So what people are you referring to? I mean, I think it's a fantastic thing. Yeah, I mean, Star Wars, it needed this, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, why do you think? Probably because they're sexist. And as far as the Felicity Jones thing goes, I haven't seen enough of her. But your thoughts?
I'll tackle Felicity Jones. Seeing her in Theory of Everything, but then seeing her in Amazing Spider-Man, it's a it's a toss up. I think she's definitely got the acting ability. I think that this is a very interesting character. There's a reason why they casted her. I don't think she was like a second choice. I think she was kind of like a first choice. Not sure what they're gonna do with the characters. It's really hard to tell, but I think she probably do a good job with it. I'd hope so. In relation to people being sexist, that's everyone. That's all around. But no, all seriousness. Furiosa and Mad Max, Daisy Ridley as Rey. I mean, they lit it up this year or last year. Like, they were key cornerstone main leads. And I think that a lot of people were like, wow, this is amazing. Even like 10 Cloverfield Lane, I mean, it really had like a female lead in its own right. And so I think that there's definitely a demand for it, but I think there's definitely a lot of people that have a lot of backlash and worry about it. And it might be more of a sexist kind of perspective because, well, the thing about the Ghostbusters movie, it looks like a bad movie, period. But a lot of people, their reasons behind it, they're not just saying because it looks bad. They had already had problems with it because it was an all-female lead. Now, it could have been said that Extreme Ghostbusters would have been a better plausible thing, but a lot of people were already shunning it before that even happened. And it's the same thing. I've actually heard some mixed people say that, they don't want Felicity Jones in this lead and stuff like that. And I'm like, give her a chance,
I mean, like, I don't know. I just thought Felicity Jones was a weird choice. I mean, I'm scrolling through her discography right now as an actress, and not much there for me. But I hope she does a good job. I mean, honestly, sadly, there's nothing in her. I have not seen Girls, though. I think that's the only thing.
What, Girls, the TV show?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's actually really good because her and what's his name actually do a really good job. Adam Driver.
But I think she should be fine though. And anyone who's having issues with females as the lead characters can go fuck themselves. But real shit. I mean, really? anyway.
I don't understand that either. Because the thing is, Daisy Ridley had nothing to her name and just demolished the role. You know what I'm saying? And I think
destroyed.
So I don't know. You can't say anything, honestly.
Whatever. But thanks for the question, though, for sure. Okay, so the next question is Darkened Days. What potential actors should play Han Solo in the Han Solo movie? Oh, fucking Christ. All right.
Did we already do this one?
We've gotten this question a few times. I think we'll probably just leave it there. I mean, we've really gone in depth with this question, but I guess quick thoughts is that honestly, I don't care because I really don't want to see a Han Solo movie personally. Like, I'm not a prequel person. Rogue One, fine. Like, you got me. It's actually a pretty cool idea. I'm not a prequel person, but sounds pretty dope. And the first trailer was pretty damn dope. So, all right. But like the Han Solo thing, care less about. Truly. I mean, I know that that one dude from XMen, the lead guy there, I know like a lot of people are excited for him to play Han Solo. I really don't care personally. But you, your quick thoughts, I guess?
I mean, shoot, I think I was one of the ones that was like you, was hoping that Shia LaBeouf was going to be like Han Solo. If he would have been there, I would have been like, oh yeah, all right, I'll wait for this and see what happens. I'll marinate on it. But I don't think that there's like a really big need to have a Han Solo film. Like, I think they need to concentrate on like crafting new ideas, new characters, so they can come out with new books. I think that this is more of a marketed thing. That's the reason why they want, you know, Obi-Wan Kenobi solo film. Then that's the reason why they want a Han Solo film. This is all on a money-driven thing, and I might shoot him in the foot later. But I'll say to have Taron Egerton as a possibility as being Han Solo, at least I know he's a good actor that will have fun with the role. So I'd be more inclined of having him than anybody else. But I mean, I'm not, just like usual, I'm not really all that excited for a Han Solo film.
Nah, definitely not. But again, you know, definitely thanks for the question. And off to the next one. All right. So, oh shit. All right. Next question is from Salty Days. What camera did you use for your short film Satori, and what inspired you to write and direct the film? Man, thanks for the question. Well, the camera is nowhere near me, but it's a Sony X100 4K camera. It's a camera that I use every day, actually. I just normally shoot in 1080p, 60 frames per second. Also, what inspired you to write and direct the film? Oh man, back in 2013, let me see, 2013, 2014, I was supposed to make this huge sci-fi epic, but like the more I worked on it, the more I realized that it was just way too complicated. So I was like, all right, let me just pause this and work on something that I can execute in like, 6 or 10 months, like shoot, edit, do music, be done with it. And so Satori really just started with I had this daydream about a woman like kind of being possessed in like a bathtub full of blood, and the story just sort of just came from that. I was just like, oh man, that's a great visual, but like it needs a story, so it kind of just built from that. So yeah, basically. But thanks for the question. Dane did not know that was in there. Let me see. All right, so on to the next one here. All right, so Jet Life, did you like Man of Steel a lot more than BVS, and why? I did like it way more. I did. I think that Man of Steel is a far more superior film than Batman vs. Superman. Batman vs. Superman, I gave 7 out of 10. Man of Steel, I gave a 9 out of 10. Like, I feel that the issue here is focus. Like when I was saying that the biggest issue with BVS is that it's sort of a clusterfuck of ideas. I really mean it. Whereas with Man of Steel, it was more focused. You know, there wasn't just so much going on. You know, it was really just about Superman and Zod. You know what I'm saying? Like just that the two of them slowly magnetizing towards each other over the course of the film. Yeah, I mean, it's just about the Zack Snyder's interpretation of Superman, as opposed to him trying to tackle like Batman versus Superman and setting up the Justice League and like having Wonder Woman be on screen for more than 2 minutes and so on and so forth, and Doomsday and Death of Superman and all that crap. So yeah, to me it's Man of Steel, and because Man of Steel is just more focused. But what about you?
Yeah, for me, I actually gave Man of Steel a 9.5 out of 10. That was one of my first earlier reviews. I loved it. The thing about Man of Steel, it was a solo film. It was a fresh interpretation of the comic book adaptation of Superman versus like the Superman Returns one, which is like a sequel to Superman 2, which I thought that was such a bad idea. Great execution, great looking film, but it wasn't more the superhero film that I was looking for. Man of Steel was just that. Like everything about it, from the way that they platformed Kal-El, from the way the look and the dynamics of even like Krypton. Like I could talk about that movie for hours. And the other thing I'll say about Man of Steel is I looked at it once. The only reason why I kept on going to the movies to see it again, it wasn't because I missed anything. It was just because it was so amazing. Like the soundtrack was amazing. Every shot was amazing. It was like I went to look at it again for enjoyment purposes. The second time I looked at Batman vs. Superman, which I gave an 8.5 out of 10, I still enjoyed it, but nowhere near as much as I did with Man of Steel, was because there were things so much going in there that I missed personally. And I'm the type of person that pick up on stuff like that. And even being like a geek as far as DC lore and mythology, there was stuff that I missed. And so I had to watch it a second time to enjoy it more. And that kept me right at that number that I gave it. But personally, because it was a more, like you said, focused film, and because it was a solo film, I think that really paid a lot more attention to the general audience so they could be able to understand the world and everything like that. The thing about Batman vs. Superman, I know I keep talking about a bum record. My understanding that Batman vs. Superman was supposed to be a part 1 and a part 2 movie initially. There was supposed to be a Batman vs. Superman. Like there was just literally the feud between Batman and Superman, what's going on in Batman's world, why is it that Gotham City from this universe is on the other side of the bay, and just how these worlds are going to converge. And it was going to leave off there. And then the part 2 was going to be the setup and the primer for, Dawn of Justice. That didn't happen. It was like one film. And I thought that was a really bad decision personally. But yeah, I really did like Man of Steel a lot more just as a film. It was a masterful way of giving us a retelling of the lore of Man of Steel, Kal-El. And they never even called him Superman in the film, but you knew this was the definitive Superman for this day and age, personally.
Okay. That's interesting. I feel like, I mean, I could be wrong, but I felt like let's have Batman vs. Superman, then let's dive into Justice League. I always felt like that was the original plan. Could be wrong though about that, but I thought that was always the original plan though.
So what they had said initially is that they were going to shoot Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, and then right after that they were going to start shooting on the Justice League. That's what they said initially, and I was like, okay, that would work, And then they back on that and moved the date from 2015 to 2016. And then they're still going to be shooting it, I think Monday now. Justice League's going to start shooting on Monday. But it was like the whole approach is totally different. So, yeah, like this Monday is when Justice League is starting shooting, principal shooting. So,
bro, fuck. Like, let me check my pulse. Oh, man, I'm alive. I'm not crazy. This is actually happening. Oh, my God.
Yeah, they didn't fire him, so it's still being made on Monday.
And another thing, and by the way, we're probably gonna just leave off on that question because we're already 24 minutes in. We'll get to the other questions soon, but I don't know. I just don't really know what went wrong because like Watchmen is just just a smorgasbord of just a lot of different ideas. And I felt like, though I did not give it like a 10 out of 10, I think what he did with Watchmen was incredible. Incredible. I think it's like head and shoulders above what he did with Batman versus Superman, which is so bizarre because you would think that it would be backwards, you know?
Yeah.
But no, I thought he dealt with Watchmen way better than how he dealt with Batman versus Superman, which is weird. I don't know.
That's a funny perspective, because the thing is, like, I mean, we could be talking about this for a while, but the Watchmen, the way that if I could take Watchmen, the actual graphic novel, and put it up against the film, I could literally flip from page to page to page to page, and it's just there. With the exception of the very end, like even if you look at the director's cut, it was like page came off and it was there. Versus Batman or Superman, taken from Dark Knight Returns, taken from Justice League, Gods Among Us, Injustice, taken from Flashpoint, taken from this, that. Versus if he would have just made an adaptation version just alone of the Dark Knight Returns, period, kept everybody at a great age, I think it would have been the perfect adaptation. It would have been more centrally focused off of a source material versus a lot of different ideas. And I think that's where he messed up. Like he literally, when I look at those pages and I take the film versus that, it was, oh God, it was like the page came to life for me. I think I actually gave that a 10 out of 10, to be honest with you. The director's cut. The director's cut of the Watchmen, I think I did.
I've seen the director's cut, which I don't recommend. My God, I mean, it's interesting.
It's a lot. It's a whole lot.
it's like 200 something minutes or something like that. It's like, bruh, come on.
Yeah, if you're not a big Watchmen graphic novel reader, I would recommend you just looking at the regular version. And for me, I'm just like a comic geek, so
I love Watchmen. I think I gave it a rating when I first saw it, but that changed like a day later. So I don't know what my rating is. I just know it's not a 10 out of 10. I know that much. It's not a terrible movie. It's actually really, really good. I like it more than BVS, so there you go. But I think we're going to stop there for today. And there'll be a part 2 real soon, because there was a lot of user questions. But yeah, any final thoughts before we dip out of here?
No, y'all. Thanks everybody for watching. Definitely leave a thumbs up. If you haven't left a subscribe, definitely do that. And we'll be back next time, y'all.
Yes, we will be back here soon. Yeah, leave some feedback down below. The comment section will be closed on the questionnaire that we're referencing in this video, so definitely make sure you get your questions in on the next questionnaire. And other than that, definitely click up in this, I think it's in this corner right here, the icon. I'll let you see previous videos instantaneously, so definitely give that a click. And other than that, we're about to close out for now.
Later, everybody.
Peace.